It's Chris Smith time. Oh, hello everybody. It's me, Chris Smith. And guess what? Today I am reviewing the Rocky Horror Show, which is currently playing at Roundabout Theatre Company's Studio 54 in beautiful New York, New York, Broadway. You know, I've been doing these reviews of my recent, the shows that I saw on my recent trip to New York as we march toward the Tony Awards, June 7th. So, Rocky Horror was the show that I saw on the Saturday night of my visit. Now, if you've been following my reviews, they've been going in order, starting with Ragtime, which I saw on a Tuesday night, The Lost Boys, which I saw for the matinee on Wednesday, Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York on the Wednesday night show. Then on Thursday, I saw The Great Gatsby and Chess. And then on Friday, we're skipping over it, but we will review it just in time, I saw with Matthew Morrison. Then on Saturday, I saw the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, the musical, which I will review, but we're just doing Tony-nominated things before the Tonys, and then we'll go back to these. And Oh Mary, I saw at the 5:30 show with Hannah Salo. We won't review it, but we will talk about it. Hannah Salo is amazing, and here she is. She was going on for John Cameron Mitchell, and we knew that she was, and that's why we went to see her, because we really didn't want to see John Cameron Mitchell. No offense to you, John Cameron Mitchell. Yeah. And if somebody had given me a free ticket, I would have gone to see him. So then we saw the Rocky Horror Show, me and Abigail, on Saturday night in April. And it's directed by Sam Pinkleton. Now, if you've been watching some of my reviews of the past, Sam Pinkleton is a director that is not always my favorite. I didn't enjoy his Head Over Heels at the Pasadena Playhouse. Though when I look back at it, I'm like, it was very ambitious. So I might have just not been in the best frame of mind, but it was too busy for me. It was a lot going on. Then I saw his La Cage at the Pasadena Playhouse, and it was not good. I thought it was very garish. But then, last year when I saw Oh Mary, I said, okay, this is a show that has very good direction. It wasn't garish. It was very simple. And it showed me that Sam Pinkleton could do things that weren't necessarily just crazy over-the-top garish. So when I was going to see Rocky Horror, I was like, oh no, this will probably be which I know I shouldn't have gone into it with that. But let me say, I was pleasantly surprised. Delighted even. Rocky Horror is a show that I have seen. I saw it in 2000 on Broadway. I saw it at the Circle and Square Theater, and the cast was Tom Hewitt as Frankenfurter, Alice Ripley as Janet, Jared Emick as Brad, Raul Esparza played Riff Raff, and Daphne Rubin Vega played Magenta and the Usherette. And this is in the 2000 version. Joan Jett played Columbia, and Sebastian Lacaze played Rocky, and Leah Delaria played Eddie and Dr. Scott, and the narrator was Dick Cavett. So, which I enjoyed it greatly. But you know what? I think I enjoyed this Rocky Horror even better. I think I did. Okay, so here's an ad in the playbill for Rocky Horror, and it has the whole cast. Luke Evans, who was Frank, Andrew Durand as Brad. There's Rachel Dratch as the narrator, which I saw on the Wikipedia that character is also known as the criminologist. I didn't realize. Stephanie Sue as Janet. Harvey Geelan as Dr. Scott and Eddie. And of course, Amber Gray as Riff Raff. Then of course we had over here Michaela J. Rodriguez as Columbia. We had Josh Rivera as Rocky, and Juliette Lewis as Magenta and the Usherette. So this is a really cool ad. But let's look inside. Oh, and here's a cool ad for the Lost Boys. You know, I think the ads are so important. We don't get things like this in our playbills out here for the tours that come to like the Pantages. And I just think it's so fun seeing ads of other shows. It's so exciting on Broadway, isn't it? So it's Richard O'Brien's The Rocky Horror Show. You know, Richard O'Brien is very important to the history of the show. It really is his. He did the book, he did the music, he did the lyrics, and he played Riff Raff. Was it Riff Raff that he played in the original? And, you know, that movie, the 1975 movie, always scared me as a child. I know it's a comedy. I didn't know. Whenever I would see videos of, they would show like the time warp, on USA, they had a video show, and sometimes they would show the time warp. And even then, I was of age. I was probably a young teenager. And when I saw those clips, and I was like, oh, it's so creepy. Those creepy people doing that. The house just seemed so claustrophobic, and Brad and Janet were sort of trapped in there. I mean, I don't know what would have happened if they had tried to run out. I don't really remember that Brad and Janet ever tried to run out, but it just felt like they were trapped and being held against their will. So that movie was always very claustrophobic. And I always thought that Richard O'Brien's Riff Raff just looked so creepy. But what a talent to create all this. And yeah, it's still going on over 50 years later. Okay, so here's the interior of the playbill. It's directed by Sam Pinkleton. Choreography by Annie Taj. Music supervisor Chris Gosh, my eyes, I am losing or everything's very small. Chris Kukl is the music supervisor. Here is the cast page. I always watch these videos back, and then I'm like, oh, I had the glare on it and didn't hold the things close enough. The ensemble was very funny. They played all sorts of little, roles, and so shout out to all the ensemble people. But this was a very good cast. Now, Juliette Lewis, who's an actress who's been around for a long time, she starts out the show as the usherette, and her vocals weren't the strongest. I mean, she could sing, she could carry a tune, but to me, it felt like she was nervous. But, maybe she was. Was it still in previews? I think it was still in previews when I saw it. Here is all of this page. Bum, 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 bum. And of course, you can see all these things online. The musical numbers, such classic songs. I always loved Damn It, Jan, and over at the Frankenstein place, Don't Worry, I'm Not Gonna Sing. I just don't feel like it tonight. Touch a touch a touch a touch a touch a touch a touch me. I always loved that. Always so naughty. Science fiction double feature. Just great songs. So many of them. Okay, so as I said, this cast is most excellent. And everything about this production was pretty amazing. The theater, the lighting in the theater, even when you walk into the lobby, you're already in it. They had these silver mannequins everywhere, and skeletons, and the lighting was different in the different rooms of the lobby, and then going into the theater, and then it all had like a greenish tint, and the seats in like the first several rows had like a silver almost like an aluminum foil over the backs of them, and we were in one of those seats, and I was like, Abigail, why did you put us so close? Because she bought the tickets, and it was really in the area where they could pull you up on stage, and they did pull a gentleman up on stage who was sitting directly across from us to our right, and we were on the left side of the house as you're facing the stage, and right where like Rachel Dratch was like right in front of us. She would come out in this little area and do some of her speeches, and it was very, very exciting seeing Rachel Dratch because I've always loved her. I bet she could play a good Mary in Oh Mary. Maybe she will eventually, because everybody goes into that show. But it was exciting to see all of them. I mean, Juliette Lewis, I've always been a fan of hers. Andrew Durand, I saw him last year in Dead Outlaw. Luke Evans. I mean, I didn't know a whole lot about Luke Evans, but now I'm glad that I saw him, and I liked what I saw. Amber Gray was unrecognizable as Riff Raff. What a performance. But yeah, Stephanie Sue was amazing. Everybody was really good. Michaela J. Rodriguez, marvelous as Columbia. I preferred, they had Josh Rivera as Rocky dressed up in sort of like a wrestling outfit. It was almost like a skin-colored wrestling, but he was really covered up. And when I saw it back in 2000 with Sebastian Lacoste, he was practically just wearing like a gold bikini thing, and I liked that better. I like Rocky to be a little more muscular and almost like he's not real. But they were doing different things, and different people have different tastes. So Sam is certainly entitled to direct and cast the way he wants. And this Rocky was very good. He was very good. Everyone was very good. Okay, the audience participation. I'm not a big fan of audience participation. It makes me nervous. I've never been one to yell out. You always sit next to those people that are like whistling. They're like, and see, I can't even whistle. And in this show, I mean, the fans are really into it. Not this particular production, because there's been sort of like a lot of discussion about how people don't quite know when to do the little cat calls and whatever, and their little shout outs. Rachel Dratch is good at handling whatever they're throwing at her, not literally throwing, but though I know in the movie they do throw things at the screen. But In the 2000 production, you could buy a little bag. I have it around here somewhere, but I won't get it out. You could buy a little bag that had newspaper in it, so that when Brad and Janet were trapped in the rain or stuck in the rain and they had to put newspaper over their heads, I guess everybody in the audience puts newspaper on their head. Doesn't seem very fun to me, but you know, there was a feather boa in it. I think there was confetti that you could throw. It was just like little things. So that was fun that was available if you wanted to do that at the other version. In this, they weren't selling anything like that I saw. But I did still buy some merch. Here's the magnet. I must say I love this logo. I love this design of the font. And I still haven't been able to find out if there's a real poster. I haven't seen the window card. I even got a drink. Yes, I think Abigail bought this for me. And it was Chardonnay. But yes, and I bought a shirt. Okay, so here's the shirt. It has the design on it. And it's sort of like a weird gray, not tie-dyed, but I don't know what you would call it. But you're not supposed to wash it you're supposed to like wash it in the sink or something. So I've had this shirt for, well, it's been over a month since I saw this show, and I still haven't washed it. Mind you, I haven't been wearing it out. It's just been laying around. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to all the trouble of washing it in the sink, and then it's going to have to hang and drip dry, and because I'm lazy. But I will. I'll wash it, I promise. Okay, let's talk about some of these nominations. They got 9 Tony Award nominations. You know, it's funny. This show started in 1973 on the West End. Then it was on Broadway in 1975. Then the West End in 1990. Then Broadway revival in 2000. Then the West End revival in 2023. Then the Broadway revival in 2026. And of course, the movie, as I said, was 1975. But as the years went on, their Tony nominations increased. The original in 1975 on Broadway got 1 Tony nomination for Best Lighting Design. Then in 2001 for that revival, they got 4 nominations for Best Revival, Best Leading Actor, Tom Hewitt, Best Direction, Christopher Ashley, and Best Costume Design. And now in 2026, for the 79th Tony Awards, they have 9 nominations, the best this show has ever gotten. So clearly, this show is only getting better with age, at least according to Tony nominators, or voters. So they got, and these are all pending. The awards is June 7th. Just coming up in less than a week. Best Revival of a Musical. Best Performance by a Leading Actress in a Musical, Stephanie Sue. Best Performance by a Leading Actor in a Musical, Luke Evans. And Best Performance by a Featured Actress in a Musical, Rachel Dratch. So 3 actor nominations. So they got Best Scenic Design of a Musical for Dots. That's DOTS. So, yes. Best Costume Design of a Musical, David Reynoso. Best Lighting Design of a Musical, Jane Cox. Best Sound Design of a Musical, Brian Ronan. And Best Choreography, Annie Taj. Now, the scenic design was excellent. That creepy mansion looked perfect. The costumes, crazy kooky. The lighting, I've told you, is amazing. Sound design, I never really noticed the sound design too much unless I can't hear something. So I guess if I'm hearing everything perfectly and all the creepy sounds and the dialogue and the music isn't too loud, then I guess you've got good sound design. And the choreography was great too. Everything was great. Poor Sam Pinkleton did not get a nomination for direction, whereas Christopher Ashley did back in 2000. But so, you can't always get one. But what's wonderful is Sam won the Tony last year for Oh Mary. So, yes, I really recommend this production of Rocky Horror. I have several friends who are going. I know a girl at work who is going to see it soon. And I think she's going to see Oh Mary as well. So she's going to have a Sam Pinkleton double feature. But yeah, if you get a chance, I think it's playing till... Hold on. Okay, so it's playing through November 29th. At least that's how long it says now. Of course, it's been extended before, so they just might be extended again. So if you get a chance and want some little creepiness, it'll be perfect in the month of October to see this. Then I totally recommend Rocky Horror Show at Studio 54. And what's cool is you can say, I went to Studio 54 and the bouncers didn't throw me out. Okay. I'll see you the next time that it's Christmas time.